setting up the next revolution. We all know who's responsible for that. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, June the 15th, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all. The end of the U.S. Open, all kinds of good things happening, but what's going on with the dark money, what's going on with the cabal, the people behind the scenes who actually have a major agenda trying to strip Americans of their capital is all full in force. We're witnessing it in California right now. And of course, the No Kings March or nationwide revolution is starting. Again, I think that we have some very serious issues here, and it's amazing how the left, and this is a leftist thing here, who continue to try to stand in the way and cause trouble because of their experimentation of what society should be and what they want it to be, so that they have the ability to control the money. Okay, which, as you know, and you've heard here before, that life comes down to two things. One of them is money, but certainly this whole thing where Mexico says we stole the California from them, the fight with ICE, the people that are not going anywhere, the governors that stand in the way. Notice that every governor that is standing in the way is a governor of a sanctuary city that is trying to cause many problems at all. And I think that this is a very serious issue. I think it will lead to some pretty heavy violence before it's all said and done. I mean, not that it wasn't bad enough in California as it is, but we will see how it plays out. But this is a very serious concern. And I think that you tie it into the things that are going around the rest of the globe between Ukraine and now the missiles being launched upon Israel. And I think you can see that there are some very issues going on. And of course, this is all part of the globalism movement and the other things that are going on. So at the end of the day, I think there's some very serious problems. But as we go back, you've got Al Qaeda, who says they want to go after the scum of the earth and assassinate Trump, Vance, Musk, Rubio, Hegseth over the Gaza war. Really? Okay, these are the people that we are dealing with. And I think, again, you want to talk about some serious issues. Those are pretty serious issues. Those are the same people who brought you 9/11. So again, I think that we need our government. We think I need our president to step up even further and really put these people down. That would be what I would like to see done. But again, I think you are looking at some major things. I mean, you've got the New Jersey rep, LaMonica McIver, who's hit with federal charges at the ICE detention center, faces 17 years in prison. Not enough. Okay. Either we follow the laws or we don't. We have laws in place that President Trump happens to be following the laws that are in place. And the laws in place from immigration were set by Barack Obama. So again, I don't understand why we continue to have these issues when these are laws that have been on the books. And again, President Trump, when it comes to immigration, is breaking no laws. Okay, he is following the laws that we already have. Okay, and we now have continued unemployment getting higher and higher. It is, in fact, at the highest level since 2021. So as I've said all along, people are not working. And of course, with the use of AI, more jobs will be eliminated. And I think that we do need to bring back the manufacturing jobs to this country. I do think we need to stand firmer and continue with tariffs on China. I don't really want to see the deal that they're talking about. I think that it's a mistake. I think that it's time we took back the country, we took back the world, because we are, as unreasonable as we are right now, we are still the most reasonable around the globe, and we still have the ability to defend. So I think that, again, it's important to understand what you wish for and what you hope for. We've got, I think you've got experts are now warning that the market may be in a little bit more trouble. Well, again, I think you have to look at the market differently. We'll get more of that in our market report, but at the end of the day, there's not enough participation, so there's really nothing to look at. We've got some big issues with debt and credit card cycling and credit card rolling, which a lot of people are now trying to get credit cards so they can max out one to pay off another and kind of rotate back and forth. And of course, really what's happening is these fees are eating it up and it's killing their credit scores. And of course, it's also, they can be canceled easier because they're using too much of their available credit. There's a number that typically people look at, which should be you shouldn't be using more than 30% of your available credit. So that there is problems there as well. At the end of the day, you've got oil, but you have experts warning that oil prices can go to 90. Now, look, okay, oil prices are not going to 90, no matter what happens in the Middle East. And to me, this is another example, very similar to the Civil War or the Revolutionary War that we're looking at. Okay, it is somebody putting out a ridiculous comment that is designed to have people react one way so that they can go the other way. It's been very, very possible. We've got the inflation numbers came out last week. Again, does anybody really believe that they're 2.4%? All prices are higher. I don't see it. I think that we are in a world of hurt and a world of trouble. Prices have not come down, and would you expect prices to come down? Other than gasoline, okay, which fluctuates, okay. Has Starbucks, has any restaurant lowered their prices back now that supposedly prices are coming down? And of course, the imbecilic Fed, starting with Chair Powell, their logic is falling apart when they look at the data. They have no clue. And of course, if they cut rates, it's another disastrous mistake. I think that when you look at the big picture, okay, there is no reason to cut rates. We're functioning fine with the rates where they are, and again, you want to tame the inflation. Okay, you have to keep the rates where they are. But the real truth of the matter is we have to let the free markets decide what the rate should be, not the Federal Reserve. That is not their mandate. It is totally ridiculous, and I think we are looking more into the world of manipulation and control. And of course, we know who sold us out back in the day, and of course from the criminals. But Woodrow Wilson was the one who sold America like a stock, and he gave control to J.P. Morgan, the Rothschild family, Paul Warburg, and Rockefellers. So again, are those the people that you believe that should be running you and running your country? Okay. To me, it's a big problem, and I think that we have to be worried about that. But I think more importantly, you should be worrying about what's going on in this country. I think you should be worrying what's going on with our economy, and I think that you ought to also really consider and look at the new approval of the crypto world, which means, as we've said here for a while, that it is real, okay, and it is going to be used, and certainly. Nobody should invest all of their money, but you should always have a certain exposure to the crypto world. And that's the way we see it. We're going to step out of here for a break right here on Bubba's Bottom Line on Sunday, June the 15th, Father's Day, and we'll be back with more in our market report right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. What's up, kids? What's going on? I hope everybody's having a great weekend. And of course, U.S. Open, if you're a golf fan, couldn't be better. Stanley Cup and major NBA playoffs, lots of things going on. But in the meantime, we do have sponsors for the show, and always like to share those with you. They are brokerage partners for the most part. I'm not telling you should switch to them. I do have many brokers, but it is something that I think they're very good for the average trader. And of course, TRADIER Brokerage, which is the bottom line, it's $10 a month flat. I mean, it saves me over $100,000 a year in commission. Capital Trading Group, who does a great job with futures and commodities. And is partners with us on many projects. ITM Trading for all your gold and silver needs. And that's through with Daniela Cambone. I've been using them for 20 years. Of course, SpookyExpress.com if you're looking to get a little offshore gambling. And of course, what they're doing with these taxes, which we'll talk about in our commentary, will get you But if you want to beat that, then of course that's what you're looking for. Our high school program, and of course our brand new partner and sponsor, and of course we're an investor in Joy of Mom, which again is something, a network for moms to handle any of the problems or questions they have regarding raising children or things they need to do. And it's a great, unbelievable opportunity. Check it out. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course our market commentary. We'll get back to it right now. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, June the 15th. Happy Father's Day. And of course, markets had, you're going to think they had a turbulent week, but they really had a nothing week. I mean, the S&P only moved 23 points back and forth. There wasn't really much going on. It was very narrowly traded and everything. Yes, we saw the overnight action Thursday into Friday, which was down pretty heavily with what was going on in Israel and Iran. But at the end of the day, markets were generally flat, and for most part, most markets were in consolidation. I do think it's going to get a little bit uglier here. I do think we're finally realizing that yes, we are in a recession. I do think that they're seeing some major issues, and at the end of the day, at some point you're going to see a fall. Now we saw a rush up close to all-time highs. There may be one more push to get there, but certainly I would expect to see markets sell off. And as just our positions are very simple. In the indices, we're short the S&P, Russell, and NASDAQ, flat the Dow. The dollar, which continues to get hammered, and again, that really would equate and take care of any it would hike inflation, but it would certainly take care of any tariffs. In the meantime, the dollar, we don't trade it, and only because it's too expensive to trade it out of New York, but it certainly we would be long it if we did trade it. Euro currency, we are still short, which continues to push a little bit higher. Bonds and notes were pretty much consolidating. We are short the notes, we are long the bonds. Again, I think both will head lower once again, as I believe interest rates will be rising. Bitcoin pushed up towards a high, is dropping back down, really just consolidating between 100 and 115,000. And of course, SharpLink now is a huge investor of the MicroStrategy of Ether, which is kind of what Michael Saylor does for MSTR. Gold, which we have no position in, exploded a little bit higher, but it's really, in the big picture, it's really just in consolidation. Okay, it looks like it may make a run at the all-time high. Silver was a little bit lower for the week. We're short. Platinum, which we don't trade, got cracked on Friday, but overall it's gone, it's gone straight up. It went from 1040 to 1300, and then had a little bit of a pullback. We don't trade it because it's not liquid, but if we did, we would be short it. Copper continues to consolidate. We're still long. Corn was up, but again, it's not anything to get excited about. All the grains continue to churn in this consolidation pattern, making it very painful. Meats, cattle has finally started to come down, and I think it's now finally time to start to sell rallies in cattle. It has had a pretty precipitous drop, so we'll now look for a short and have a better opportunity. Hogs continue to run up, and I think there'll probably be a sale up here at. We were looking originally at 106. We never get in. Now we're at 110. Natural gas continues to consolidate. We have no position. We're flat. And crude oil, as you saw yesterday, or excuse me, on Friday, exploded. And it actually traded as high as 78. It closed at 73. And of course, we were sellers at 64. But we are long. We've been long crude. I was talking about myself personally. We've been long crude, for quite a while, since around 62. So again, it was a pretty good opportunity for us. But at the end of the day, I think this is now a spot to take a pretty good short and a pretty good sell-off. I think you still have to be careful, and I think this is the biggest warning I can give you. Wait and be careful until we start to see some more market participation, some more volume, and some more two-way trade, as we call it. Right now, you have a very small part of the world is trading right now because of the lack of money, which goes back to my case that I believe that we're in a recession. But that's how I see the markets, and that'll take us to this next segment, which will be our commentary. In the meantime, we'll step out here for our final break on Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, June the 15th. Well, kids, again, just to remind you, TRADIER Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, ITM Trading, the Joy of Mom, SpookyExpress.com, and of course our high school program. And let us get back to Bubba's Bottom Line on this Father's Day, and of course my commentary. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, June the 15th, Father's Day, U.S. Open Day. Lots of good stuff happening. And in the meantime, of course, there's some bad stuff happening. And of course, that's my commentary today. If you're not aware, Pritzker from Illinois last week passed a law to now start taxing the legalized bookmakers, DraftKings, FanDuel, and all those. So if you're a person who gambles in Illinois, it's starting at. But I would assume it's going to be statewide, nationwide. And again, this is something that just shows how stupid government and the left is, because what they don't get is that they got a beautiful new tax base by allowing legalized gambling. Okay, they made a lot of money on it, and now they're trying to be pigs. Versus what they don't realize or they don't care about is that money, those people that realize that they're getting ripped off by DraftKings now because of the tax, and FanDuel and the others, they will go back to illegal bookmakers where the states will see no tax money. They will go back offshore where the states will see no tax money. So what benefit did they derive from bringing in more taxes? They're taking business away and they're opening up the black market once again, which is as dumb as you can possibly be. It's the same thing that they have done in every other thing. The greed factor that they want to overtax is hurt and will hurt them more than it will hurt anybody else, because we have opportunities. People that want to gamble will find places that there is not this ridiculous tax that is now being passed on to the consumer. So again, when you look at the bigger picture, why would, in this case, J.B. Pritzker, okay, in Illinois, be so short-sighted that they're going to cost themselves a fortune of tax dollars, which means that you Illinoisans will get to pay more taxes throughout your own, which is why I left Illinois in the first place. And of course, there will be taxes on every state. Certainly the left states will add this tax. And of course, I think it's just ridiculous and stupid. To all of you, have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for June 15th. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Day Update. And of course, next week with Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.